Welcome to Lola's Frugal Life Podcast. If you're on a mission to be more frugal with both your time and money, you're in the right place. In this podcast, we talk about topics that help enhance living a frugal lifestyle. The goal is to save time and money where we can so that we can use the rest on what matters most to us. We talk a lot about both time and money management so that we can waste as little as possible on both. We do this while also embracing a progress over perfection mindset. If that sounds good to you, then please stick around for the latest episode right after a few quick words from our sponsor.
If you're unaware, T-Mobile calls themselves the Un-carrier, which is fitting, considering they've just unraveled their price lock guarantee for new customers. If you ask me, that's pretty uncool. If you're uncomfortable with a company that says one thing but does another, then stick with Xfinity, whose whole home Wi-Fi, wired internet, service, speed, and reliability are unparalleled. Avoid the Un-carrier. Stick with Xfinity. Effective for new customers after 1/17/24. T-Mobile's price lock will only reimburse your last bill if you terminate service due to a price increase.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Lola's Frugal Life Podcast. This is my weekly meal plan episode. If you're new here, this is a quick episode I do every week where I share my family's meal plan for the upcoming week. The idea is just to maybe give you some ideas for your meal plan. Maybe you might hear something that either you want to make or reminds you of something else that you already make that you haven't made in a while, or just to give you some motivation to get your meal plan together. Meal planning is so helpful to me in my life, and I think it would be helpful to you if you're not already doing it for saving time and saving money. There is a blog post on my website at lolasfrugallife.com that comes out the same day as this episode every week, where I share the full meal plan as well as links to any recipes that I mention in the episode. So this week's meal plan starts on Saturday, June 8th. For Saturday, I'm making creamy herbed pork chops from allrecipes.com. Haven't made this one in a while, but as I've mentioned in the past, I actually don't make the creamy part of the recipe. I really just use it to put on my meal plan as a placeholder, because what I do like to do is the very simple part of the recipe, which is basically just taking bone-in pork chops. I season them with Montreal steak seasoning, and I cook them in a pan with butter. I think because it's summer, I'm going to make these on the grill this time, but just seasoning the pork chops with the Montreal steak seasoning and cooking them up either on the grill or in a pan with butter, they just taste so good with that seasoning. So I just use it very simply just for that. And then as a side dish, I'm going to make some classic macaroni salad, which is from allrecipes.com. This is just one of your typical, it's elbow macaronis, mayonnaise, vinegar, sugar, mustard, salt, pepper, celery, peppers, and carrot. So that's that. For Sunday, I'm going to be doing Instant Pot baby back ribs. This is also from allrecipes.com. I haven't made this recipe in a really long time. I made it when I very first got my Instant Pot, so I think that's probably going on like 2 years ago now, maybe. But I do remember it came out really good. When I first got the Instant Pot, I wanted to try ribs in it. So I made it then. I thought it would be good now for summer because the recipe calls for putting it in the oven afterwards, but I thought instead just to kind of brown it, but I figured instead what I'll do is once they're done in the Instant Pot, I'll just throw them on the grill to like kind of brown them a little bit. So that's for Sunday. And also with that, I'm going to be making loaded potato salad, which is from tasteofhome.com. This isn't the potato salad that I typically make, but I made it once last year. I figured I'll make it once again this year. It's a pretty simple recipe where you cook your potatoes and then you add like bacon, and then the dressing is made with like mayo, Caesar salad dressing, ranch salad dressing, sour cream, like all this kind of different things to make like a different, like interesting, like loaded potato type of flavor. For Monday, I'm going to be doing kibasi and sauerkraut. Just super simple. Just buy like some kibasi, cut it up in pieces, put some sauerkraut in a baking dish and heat it up. And then on the side, I'm going to try to make Instant Pot lima beans. I've never made this before. This is from themillerskitchen.com. My husband really likes lima beans. I've bought them in the can and frozen, but I was on the grocery store website and I was going to buy some, and I saw they had the dry ones, and I found this recipe for how to make them in the Instant Pot, so I figured I will give that a try. So we're going to try that with the kibasi and sauerkraut. So that'll be a nice, easy night. Tuesday is our Mexican theme meal. Mexican theme meal night or Taco Tuesday. This week we're doing cheesy chicken nachos, which is from realsimple.com. This is very basic, just nachos on a tray, some chicken, cooked chicken. You can use rotisserie chicken or any other chicken you have cooked, cheese, bake it in the oven, and then we put out all the toppings to go on it, like avocado, salsa, sour cream, whatever else you like to put on your nachos, and everyone can kind of just make their own dish. Wednesday is usually our seafood night. So this week I'm doing easy shrimp scampi. This is from spendwithpennies.com. This is so super easy. You just take butter and olive oil, put it in a skillet, stir in some garlic, or I just use garlic powder. Same, it comes out the same. Add some shrimp, kind of stir it around, take the shrimp out, add some wine to the pan, cook it up a little bit and to make like a nice little sauce, put the shrimp back in, and it's done. So that's a really quick, easy way to make the shrimp scampi. I also serve it with linguine on the side and some frozen vegetables. So that is what we'll be doing for our seafood night this week. Thursday, I always rotate through either breakfast for dinner or a crock pot meal or soup because I go grocery shopping that night, so I try to make it a little bit easier. This Thursday, I'm going to be doing breakfast for dinner, so it's going to be turkey bacon in the oven, scrambled eggs, home fried potatoes, which I basically just take potatoes, cut them up, dice them up in, what am I saying? I dice them up. I add some cut up potatoes. I do potatoes, peppers, and onions. I don't know why I'm having trouble saying that. I dice up potatoes, peppers, and onions, mix them together with a little bit of olive oil and seasoning, throw them in the air fryer. They come out really great that way as a side to go with the eggs and turkey bacon or regular bacon, whatever you like to have. And then I will put out flour tortillas with that too. And whoever wants to can make a breakfast burrito. That's been my favorite lately. So that is for Thursday. Friday, we do hamburgers every other Friday. So that is what is on the plan for this Friday. I bought a big, huge box of Costco burgers. So it's super, super easy. I'm not even making the hamburger patties anymore. I'm just going to do this during the summer just because it's so easy to just throw the frozen burgers on the grill, and it just will save me time from having to make the hamburger patties. So we're going to be doing that with a can of pork and beans and some oven fresh seasoned potato wedges from allrecipes.com, which is basically just potato wedges that you mix up in a bag with some Parmesan cheese, olive oil, some seasonings, and then bake them in the oven. Although in the summer, a lot of times I don't actually wind up making that recipe. I wind up just slicing up the potatoes, tossing them with some seasonings and a little olive oil, and then cooking them in the air fryer just to save from turning the oven on in the summer, especially if it's a hotter day. So that's it for this week's meal plan. Like I said, you can find this full meal plan along with links to any of the recipes I happen to mention on my website at lolasfrugallife.com. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you back here next week. So thank you for checking in for this podcast episode. And don't forget, you can always email me with any questions or suggestions at lolasfrugallife@gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Lola's Frugal Life. And you can find a blog post for most of my episodes and definitely all of my meal plan episodes at lolasfrugallife.com. You can also join our private listeners group at facebook.com/groups/lolasfrugallife. And if you enjoy the show, please make sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen from. And I would love it if you would screenshot the show and tag me on Instagram so I could see you're listening. Also, if you can please take a couple of seconds to rate and review the podcast. Those ratings and reviews are what help the show come up better in search results so that other people can find this podcast. So that will really help me in growing my audience. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have an awesome day.